and I can only imagine the amount of excitement you felt coming up toward and then finally seeing the launch go and succeed. It must have been an amazing moment. Do you recall it?
Oh, yeah. I'm walking around saying, is this us? I mean, I'm looking at our screen. I can see the trajectory, and here's this object going along, and I see the data start to come down. And I'm saying, is this for real? I mean, this isn't, where nobody's playing a joke on me, are you? So
yes.
It was a time when we're walking around pinching ourselves, because I personally thought, oh well, there are a number of things. Just so long as it's not a silver bullet, not a major item, I was prepared mentally for a number of different points of failure. But it has exceeded all of our hopes.
Robert, is there any way that anybody has yet managed a visual on the spacecraft on a nice clear day in the desert or something?
Actually, yes. After the first couple of days it reached orbit, somebody had captured on a telescope, and they took a picture of it streaking by, and that was emailed to us. And then we publish on our website. There is a website called Heaven Above, and they project out all different orbiting kinds of structures, and ours is one of the ones on their menu. And we publish, I believe, orbiting times, or we have a map on that people can refer to as to when it might be crossing over Las Vegas or Los Angeles or Manila or wherever.
Where is that map available?
It's on our website, www.bigelowaerospace.com. And again, I could also mention the Heaven Above website that I've been told does a very good job of mapping all these ourselves and other spacecraft as well. But so on a clear night, if you don't have any ambient contamination because of a large city flashlight kind of projection, you have to get way out beyond that to where you can see things. I saw it a couple of weeks ago, and just by getting way out in the desert and being at the right place at the right time.
Uh-huh. Must be exciting. Have you tried it yourself yet?
What, to observe it?
Yes.
I did, yes. I took my wife out, and we went way out on the peripheral of the valley, and we did see it.
Oh my God! To look out and see your own spacecraft orbiting, what a feeling that must be.
Well, it feels like a little baby, though, Art. It feels like you've given birth to something, and God, she's up there, and it's a funny kind of feeling like that.
I don't think I'm going to have any luck here in Manila. We have a great deal of humidity, and therefore our skies are not as they are in the desert, particularly in Manila. But God, I'd love to see it, maybe from a mountaintop here or something.
Well, you said you were going to go see that volcano, if I'm not mistaken, maybe, huh?
Actually, yes. I'm considering a trip down to the Mayan volcano, which, by the way, is really getting ready to blow its top here. It's really cooking.
That's what I understand.
Yeah. So what is the flight schedule? Where does it go from here? How far out are you booked, as it were?
We can produce a schedule for a week in advance. I can supply you with you give me the coordinates or where you would like to know where the spacecraft would be, and I can supply you with the times of day that it would cross over.
Oh no, that's great. No, what I really meant was with respect to future launches. How much is penned out?
We're out fairly well for the next 5 years. We have an agenda that we're fairly comfortable with for the next 5 years. And of course, in the more immediate future, we're very focused on the second one. We're trying not to be a one-hit wonder, and so we desperately are hoping that our second flight is successful.
You are putting it's Jess here. You're putting about $500 million of your own money in. Is that roughly accurate?
It is, yeah. Over a period of years.
Boy, that's a lot of money, Bob. Are you getting any help with this? Are you beginning to get any help? Is there beginning to be any interest shown in what you're doing that goes beyond vocal support?
No, I think the area of this is so dangerous financially that it has broken so many people and busted so many companies. I remember that Kistler Aerospace went through $800 million. So it's a very lethal kind of business. Now they've been reorganized and they're on a new program, so hopefully they'll be successful maybe. But it is probably wiser for because this is somewhere between crazy and philanthropic. So it's probably wiser, in all honesty, for people to stand back and wait to see that somebody is successful and produces a revenue stream that actually makes sense. So we've had people say, well, gee, can we invest in the company? And I say, no. I say, well, and they say, why not? And I say, well, how in all good conscience could we do that when there's no revenue stream? We haven't validated what's mandatory with any kind of company that you'd want to buy into. So I think we're going to have to probably go it alone for a long time and try to validate those revenue streams, and we may get beat up a little bit in the process.
Well, Bob, I'd like to know, even having the kind of money you have, how do you come to the decision to invest? And you just told us how poor an investment it probably is. How do you come to a decision to spend that kind of money? How do you get there?
Well, the decision actually was to try to acquire a sufficient capital base to supply the earning power. Who can guess the future? But up to this point in time, what we've done is we've spent net income. We haven't spent capital.
Okay. When all is said and done, and if it keeps going as well as it is now, is the day going to come, Bob, and when might that day be, when the first space tourist can plunk down however much money it's going to be and take a ride?
I think, it's going to, first of all, I think that our intent is probably to validate the functionality of the systems with professional astronauts on board for a period of time. And first they would be functioning robotically. Then when we think that they're maintaining their life support systems are functioning and other signals tell us that the spacecraft is healthy, then if you have the transportation system and autonomous docking rendezvous capabilities, then, which this country, by the way, does not have at the moment. That here again comes in the Russians, So I think we're looking at the very earliest, in terms of time frame, perhaps around 2011 time frame. In terms of dollars, it's going to be frightfully expensive. It's going to be terrible, as the first things usually are in something of this sort. But eventually, through volume transportation, with enough launches, that those costs can really drop down. Also, I would think if the people that are going can contribute a value-added service of some sort. Let's suppose they are a movie actor or actress. Sure. Let's suppose they are a scientist. Let's suppose that they have some function that they can bring to the complex, the space complex. Then it may not be just money alone that is the factor.
Okay. Well, this is absolutely as exciting as it gets. If you could say anything, and you can right now, to the American aerospace industry and to our own government, what would it be?
Be willing to take a risk that may not be all that popular with your board of directors and your shareholders, and move out as a leader. Move out instead of feeding from the government trough, as has been the case for the last number of decades. Take a risk, because this country stands a really good chance of falling behind quite soon. If transportation isn't solved, then we're going to be traveling at the behest of the Russians or some other foreign provider.
And of course, taking that risk and taking that jump is exactly what you have done. Robert, congratulations, big time, congratulations. You're out front. You really did it. Again, thank you for the flowers, and we'll follow this step by step, and I hope you'll come back as number 2 launches.
Thank you, Art, my friend. Anytime.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Bob Bigelow, who, again, is a very good friend of mine, has been for a number of years, and I knew all of this was coming. But I was sort of, I don't know, sworn to secrecy. I'm pretty good at keeping secrets, and I've tracked this over the years. But the actual launch caught me as much by surprise as I'm sure it did many of you. So there you've got it. One single individual dedicated with the resources and the vision to do what Bob Bigelow has done. From a high rise in Manila, the Philippines, I'm Art Bell.